Hey everybody, I'm Mike Iaconelli and I want to talk to you today about fishing off the bank. And there's no better bait, in my opinion, for fishing off the bank than a crankbait. You know, a crankbait's such a great bait because it covers a tremendous amount of water, it elicits a reaction strike, and it's a bait that you could actually feel around while you're casting. It's the ultimate bait when those fish get off the bank. I want to talk to you about a few tips that I have for finding fish with a crankbait. You know, the first one is, when I get out here, I love to rig multiple crankbaits. You know, I'm a big believer in the Rapala DT series, and in a practice day, in a search day, I'll rig 3, 4, sometimes even 5 different models. DT6, DT10, DT14, DT16. And I'm doing that because, as a general rule of thumb, I want that crankbait to run as deep or deeper than the water that I'm fishing. So in my search process, I can keep changing crankbaits depending on the depth that I'm at. You know, today we're out here in this lake and we found some vegetation, and the outside edge of this grass on these secondary points was exactly at 9 or 10 feet. And it makes that selection easy because in the Rapala DT series, the DT stands for dives too. So I can automatically look down. I know that grass is at 9, 10 foot. I'm gonna pick a bait that runs 9 or 10 feet, and it's the DT10. It's really a great system. You know, the other thing with this crankbait, and I mentioned it earlier, but I actually wanna use it to feel around. When I get off the bank and I get on these secondary points or main points, I'm making a long cast and I'm cranking it. And as this bait starts to contact the bottom and the cover on the bottom, I'm feeling around and I'm feeling for change with the bait. So many times over the years, I've found a sweet spot, a spot that's loaded with fish, not with my electronics, but with the crankbait. That little area, I'm talking about a lone stump, I'm talking about a boulder, an isolated sprig of grass that I found by feeling around with the crankbait. Try these tips when you're fishing off the bank. Tie up some crankbaits, tie them in different models that dive different depths. Hit the bottom, hit the cover, feel around, and you're gonna find a mother load of bass like I'm about to do right now.